Ladies and gentlemen, I'm back with another review, and by I'm back, Ashtimus Prime is back, and I don't really know if I should be saying that as my name, but I digress. Anyway, we're going to be talking about Boy Kills World, so stick around. I hope you enjoy this one.
Probably wasn't going to help us.
Definitely sounded like he was going to help us.
Let me start off by saying I didn't know what kind of movie I was getting into when I first saw the trailer. The trailer looked amazing, and just like any kind of action John Wick style movie there is, it delivers. So I'll start off by saying a bit of the premise, and you guys can follow along. It starts off with this young boy and his family getting gunned down by this rich, powerful family called the Vanderkoys. Now they have been ruling the city and for quite some time, and they've got the people in ruled under their thumb. And so the story is supposed to follow a young boy, don't know his name, that's because it's never told you, who essentially wants to enact revenge on the family that killed his mother and sister Hilda. Now he grows up under the tutelage of a shaman who teaches him martial arts and how to use weaponry, and essentially builds him to be the embodiment of a perfect assassin for when the day comes that he will enact his revenge on the Vanderkoys. Now, it's a cavalcade of action and comedy, essentially because the boy that you follow is deaf mute, and he has this inner voice that's voiced by H. Jon Benjamin, and it's fantastic. I think I have a little bit of a bias because I love H. Jon Benjamin, especially on the work when he did Archer. If you haven't seen Archer, go on Netflix, watch Archer. Fantastic. And so every time I hear his voice, I essentially envision Archer, and but the movie in itself, Boy Kills World, is not too far away from essentially the dialogue and the enactments and problems they get into is not too far away from the actual TV show as well. So that being said, the martial arts, the violence, the camera work, very stylized action, very similar to movies like John Wick, The Raid, every other sort of one-person army movie that you see nowadays. I will say a little bit of a downward. I think this movie sort of dragged on a little bit long. I definitely think they could have shortened the movie here and there, but otherwise stellar movie. I think if I were to give it a star review rating, I would probably give it 4 stars out of 5. The music was fantastic. The acting, like Bill Skarsgård plays an amazing deaf mute. I've got to give grats to him where it's due, because I can't imagine what he would have to go through on this movie, not saying a word. So grats to him. Andrew Koji, his partner in crime later on in the movie, amazing actor, super underrated. If you haven't seen Warrior, go watch Warrior. He's really fantastic in that movie, and I think does really well here. As I said before, H. Jon Benjamin, fantastic voice, inner voice for Bill Skarsgård's character. So yeah, so to move on a little bit, goes and essentially follows the story of revenge in a similar John Wick kind of style. Best way I can describe it really is that you're taking revenge on someone that essentially took something away from you, and I guess it just goes to beg the question: how far would you go to avenge for someone that you held dear? that being said, I gotta say, go see the movie. It is not kid friendly this time around, so don't take your kids in. But yeah, it is a fantastic movie from start to finish. Yeah, in a lot of ways, I wish it was kind of very much more to it, maybe more around the universe in itself. But I was very happy just to sort of see this being a once-off kind of movie, and it's very hard to come by these days to get just one-off movies without building a whole world or a cinematic franchise around it. But yes, as I said, action was fantastic. The sound direction, brilliant. I think the voice acting in itself, I mean, giving yourself a video game character's voice to essentially to keep going with your revenge plan is a fantastic, spot on. I think that's why also I really enjoy this movie, because it sorry, I'm a bit spiraling, but the tangents are good, so keep those thoughts running. World, it's very similar, and so I guess it appeals to a lot of the nerd in me. So if you're a nerd, you love video games, you love stylized violence and action, martial arts, this is the movie for you. And I cannot stress enough by saying that I believe this movie was very much like independently funded. I mean, other than being produced by Lionsgate, I did see a lot of production companies sort of jumping in on it. So I do say, if you want movies like this to keep continuing, go see this movie. So as I said, I give Boy Kills World 4 out of 5. Go watch it, go have some fun. Then yeah, that's the end of my review. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one.